Let's break one open and then we can see what the meat's like. Wow, I love YouTube. There's so many different possible avenues to go down, you know? And so many different unique people to follow. You really never know where you're gonna end up. You could start watching comedy commentary or tech reviews, podcasts, something simple like that. And before you know it, you're just watching people fill above ground pools with cola and jello and whatever. Or if you're anything like me, you'll go even further down the rabbit hole and you'll just be watching a guy eat sardines for like 6 videos straight. Sardines and kippers and little herring fillets. And this is all totally foreign to me. I've never had sardines in a can before, but I'm loving every minute of watching this dude talk about the little spines and the textures and the sauces are marinated in and whatever. And now I gotta ask myself, am I a sardine guy now? Like, I've just been watching these videos on YouTube of a guy eating sardines and now I'm into this. Like, now this is my thing. YouTube is so weird that way. It's the only platform that has such a strong influence on my interests. Like, I've never before considered to go to a grocery store to get a bunch of sardines, like as a hobby, you know? But this dude, Matthew Carlson, from his YouTube channel, Experiencing Matthew Carlson, he makes the act of peeling open a can of sardines and eating a couple little stinky fish fillets look like such a pleasurable experience that I had to try it out. First of all, the production value for some of these fish videos is really high for what is at its core a pretty simple format. I mean, he's just reviewing cans of fish. But that's the beauty of his channel, because it's not the fish or the catalog commentary or the pedestrian analysis videos that you're here for. It's the Matthew Carlson experience. I mean, you come here for the fish, but it's the tone and the calming yet engaging emotional response that he cultivates with his videos that hooks you and makes you want to dive into his whole catalog. What he does in his videos is just the vehicle for the real content, which is Matthew Carlson himself and the tone that he's creating. And it's clear that he puts a ton of effort into cultivating that tone between his outfits that coincide with the color profile of the backdrop or the subtle sounds of the New York streets out of his window, the analog synth background music to the actual analog synth that he uses as like a table to eat sardines off of, which is probably the very synth he's using to make the music. It's everything. I think everything we see and hear in his videos is all deliberate in an effort to cultivate that tone. So anyway, thanks to Matthew Carlson and his experience, today I am going to get out of my comfort zone a little bit and I am going to eat some sardines right out of the can. So I've gone to my local market basket and I've picked up this nice line of Portuguese canned fish, and I'm gonna try them all out and see if this is a hobby for me, if you can call this a hobby. So I'm gonna take a little page out of Mr. Carlson's book here and have myself an experience. So I figured the wisest decision would be to start simple. So we're going skin and boneless for our first one. You know, let's get our feet wet before we jump right into munching down on a bunch of little bones and skins. So this is Gonsalves brand skinless, boneless sardines. Sardinhas Sempele, I think is what that is. Product of Portugal. Ingredients, sardines, yeah, olive oil and salt. So it comes in a box. Matthew Carlson says that that's a good sign, because if they bother to put it in a box, you know, it's got to be worth something. I always say that if they bother to put the sardines in a box, then they're probably pretty good. Oh yeah, listen to that peel sound. Oh, wow. Lots of oil in there. Not many sardines. Looks like I just got 4 little pieces in there. Looks like a little more of an oil to sardine ratio than I see on Matthew's videos. Maybe that's because they deboned them. That one came right apart. Didn't even have a chance to pick it up as one piece. Oh well. Let's see what happens. I mean, yeah. That's just a pizza. That's just a nice little piece of fish. I'm a big fish guy. You know, I'm from Florida. I live in New England now, so seafood is like my bread and butter. And this is, there ain't nothing wrong with this. Trying to keep in mind though, that I went entry level for the first try. No bones, no tails, no heads, no nothing. No skin even. Yeah, man, I'm just eating a piece of fish right now. Ain't nothing crazy about it. I don't know why, I just always thought it was gonna be really disgusting. When you picture like protein preserved in a can, I just automatically think it's gonna be whack. Probably because of Vienna sausages, those are absolutely whack.
To Libby's Vienna sausage. Libby's is made with all meat.
This is great. And for under $3, I think. I mean, hey, ain't nothing wrong with that. Throw this into whatever it is you're cooking up that needs a little bit of seafood. I'll tell you what, no one's gonna know this came out of a can. Lots of oil in there. I feel like when I'm paying $3, like $1 of that's going to just the oil. Maybe this is some kind of racket from oil companies. And by oil companies, I mean olive oil companies. This is just another way to sell more oil. Olive oil. Not too mushy. Pretty firm. I mean, let's see the snap to it. You know? That had quite a snap. You couldn't hear it. You know, because it's just wet meat. But I felt a snap. Not really a snap per se, but like a, you know, it had some tension before it broke. You know, I'm really fixated on the amount of oil in here. It almost seems wasteful. Like it might have been cheaper if they had just had another piece of fish wedged in there to take up a little bit of that space instead of the oil. Well, I'll tell you what. That was damn good. On to the next. Next one I'm a little worried about here. These are SARDINES and tomate. Tomate. Tomato sauce. To be honest, I could have skipped this one at the store. Reason being, I tend to loathe and despise tomatoes entirely, and I'm seeing a major red flag here. A little bit of rust, and if not rust, then it's a little bit of tomato sauce that didn't quite make it into the tin, kind of all over the rim there. So that's a little bit alarming. That's got me having like nightmares of, what is it, botulism? But I don't know what I'm talking about. Oh, she's wet. She squirted a little when I... Oh man, I'm sounding terrible. I'll cut that part out. Oh yeah. Much more of a stink to this one. Much more aromatic. Wow, there's a lot of tomato juice in there. Tomato sauce, tomato puree, whatever it is. I can't read Portuguese. I just know it's tomato related. Oh, this one won't... Oh, there's bones in this, isn't there? Dang. My first experience with bones, I probably shouldn't have made it a tomatoey experience on top of that. Having kind of a hard time getting this out in one piece. Oh, interesting. You can see kind of a shimmer Even under the tomato paste, there's a bit of a shimmer to that skin. Well, little fish never hurt. I'll tell you what. That's a weird series of textures. That's new. The tomato, you know, if you ask me, I don't think it's adding much. It adds a lot of flavor, but I feel like I'd rather just have the fish flavor. There's definitely some bones in here, but they're very soft. Well, they're not soft. They're like brittle. You can kind of just bite right through them. No sweat. It's a nice little section there. I wonder where the front halves are. You know, why not make this can a little bit longer and just keep the whole dang fish in there?
That ain't half bad, y'all.
You know, I think I'm gonna really enjoy some of these without the dang tomato sauce. What's charcuterie? Is that something that you eat fish with? Isn't that where it's just like a couple pieces of some kind of a preserved protein, some crackers? I don't know. I think this is basically charcuterie. You know, I'm picturing a little cutting board or whatever. Just a can of this stuff laid out. Some nicely sliced pieces of cheese. A couple varieties, maybe some brie. Some of those fancy Mediterranean crackers. I think that's a perfectly acceptable meal. No cooking required. I'm just getting the little bits now. There's a couple of little straggled pieces. Wow, so there was my 2 first cans of sardines. I mean, I think that was a complete success. Let's see what else we got. We're dealing with spiced sardines in olive oil. These are the ones I've been looking forward to the most because I'm really into spicy stuff. We got Sardinejas, Picantes, Aziate? What's that word? I don't know how to say something like that. We're talking about some sardines, some olive oil, chili pepper, cucumber, carrot, pepper seed, clove, and salt. That's pretty busy for some sardines. That's a lot of ingredients. Yeah, let's dive right in. This is a little bit of a worry, but we're filming in the living room today, which means that the second I open this, there's gonna be a cat sitting right here, okay? Try not to freak out about that. And I'll try not to freak out about these dogs outside. Okay, here's the grand reveal. I'm excited to see what these look like with all these ingredients. Ooh, the oil's bubbling out. You know what? Those are beautiful. And I don't see any of those ingredients listed. I don't see carrots. Oh, is that? I spoke too soon. You just wait, because there's something in there. Very fishy aroma. No tomato smell, which is good. Oh boy, oh boy. Oh, now that's what I've been after all this time. I should have started with this. Look at the skin on that. Look at the iridescence. Look at the pearlescence. My goodness. Well, I kind of want to eat it big side first. You know what? I was right to be excited. These are the best ones so far. There's no spice on the nose. You don't really, my tongue doesn't feel it at all. And I think that's because of the oil. Because typically when you have something really spicy, it's not drenched in oil. But in this case, the oil coats your taste buds, but then the spice gets to your throat. Oh yeah. I don't feel any spice in my mouth, but I got a bit of a picante throat going on. I wanna highlight this. This is clearly a piece of a pickle, but they called it a cucumber. And I'm wondering if that's a language barrier issue, or if perhaps in Portugal there's a different definition for a cucumber versus a pickle. No vinegar in that. Maybe that wasn't a pickle. Maybe that's just what happens to a cucumber when it sits in oil for 10 years. Oh no. Oh no. I can't eat that. What the heck? I thought that was a carrot earlier. That is death. Oop. That's the carrot. Just a little slice. It came apart when I picked it up. You know, you can't hear it, but the cat is right next to me. And I'm really surprised that she hasn't emerged to claim a part of my dinner. Oh, I spoke too soon. Hang on now. Hang on. Distraction bowl. No, no. Back up. Here you go. There you go. Don't take my whole dinner. I'll give you a piece, you bandit. Here you go. She gets her own serving. I read online that it was safe before I did that. I knew it was gonna come up, so I had to do some research. So anyway, back to Matthew Carlson, right? Here's what I like about his channel the most. He doesn't put on that fake YouTube energy. She didn't want it. He just kind of does his thing, you know? And it still comes out great. It's great content. And he ignores all the commonalities of YouTube. Great production. Great tone. Great consistency. Great continuity. Great subject. You know, unique. Doesn't follow YouTube norms. I love it. So, that was great. I wish there were more in here. I wish there were two more little fish boys. As soon as I bit that pepper, it shot juice in the back of my throat. It wasn't hot. I expected the worst out of that pepper, but it wasn't hot. So yeah. Sardines, man. Don't sleep on them. Wow. So this was just one of the reasons why I love YouTube. And it turns out, I might love sardines too. So I gotta thank Mr. Carlson here for making this whole canned fish world look so dang appealing. Make sure you check out his channel and drop him a sub. You're gonna feel like a real cool dude in 10 years or so when he has like 5 million subs and you get to say that you were one of the first. So anyway, I think you're gonna hear more from me in regards to preserved food and charcuterie and junk. So hit all the red buttons below or whatever and stay tuned to hear more about why I love YouTube. All right, take it easy.